All right, so today we're taking a deep dive into Athens public transport. We've got this awesome online guide from Chasing Whereabouts,
Yeah?
and it's going to help us hopefully navigate the city like true Athenians.
Like local.
Like locals, exactly. So forget those big clunky tour buses.
Yeah.
We're going full local on this one.
Absolutely.
At the end of this, you'll be zipping around Athens like you were born there, confidently.
Well, and what's so cool is the Athens public transport system, it's not just practical, it's like a journey through time.
Okay.
You're not just getting from point A to point B, you're experiencing like the city's evolution alongside its history.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's unpack this. First up, the Athens Metro.
Yeah.
I knew it was old, but our source says it's the second oldest underground system in the world, after London.
That's incredible.
Line 1 opened in 1869.
Wow.
That's older than the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, it really is amazing, isn't it? And that historical depth,
Yeah.
you can really see it in the contracts between the lines.
Oh.
So lines 2 and 3, sleek, modern.
Right.
But line 1, it's like stepping back in time.
Okay.
You get on that train,
Yeah.
and you can almost like feel the echoes of, over a century of Athenian life.
Cool.
Yeah.
So is there anything on line 1 that really stands out historically?
Oh, absolutely. So during the construction of line 1,
Okay.
they actually discovered a section of Hadrian's aqueduct,
Wow.
which is a Roman marvel from the 2nd century AD.
Wow.
I mean, you can actually still see part of it on display at the Evangelismos station.
Really?
It's like, a tangible reminder that you're traveling through like layers of history.
That's so cool. It's not just getting around. It's like you said, it's experiencing the history.
Yeah, firsthand.
Firsthand. And speaking of historical experiences, our source mentions certain stations like Syntagma, Monastiraki, and Acropolis.
Yes.
They have excavated ruins on display.
Right, on display. I mean, who needs a museum, right?
It's like an archaeological dig meets your morning commute.
That's a good one. I like that.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm sold on the Metro's historical charm. But what about practicality?
Sure.
Let's say I just landed at the airport. I'm bleary-eyed from a long flight. Can the Metro get me to my hotel in the city center?
Yeah, absolutely. So line 3, it connects the airport directly to Syntagma Square, right in the heart of the city.
Okay.
And it only takes 38 minutes. Think about that compared to a taxi, especially during rush hour. Plus, you avoid all that city traffic. You arrive refreshed, ready to explore.
Oh, yeah. So much better than being stuck in a taxi.
Right.
Staring at brake lights. Now, I have to admit, buses usually intimidate me in a new city, and our source mentions Athenian buses can be a bit confusing.
Yeah.
With routes changing and Google Maps not always being reliable.
Right.
Do I need, like, a PhD in Athenian bus routes to figure this out?
Not at all. Not at all. So yeah, they might seem a little daunting at first, but there's some resources that can really help you navigate them. The key is use the website that's linked in our source. It has the most up-to-date timetables, route maps.
Okay, so I can avoid getting hopelessly lost. But are there any situations where buses are actually the best option, even if I'm a little bit, hesitant?
Oh, definitely. For sure. So let's say you want to explore some of those areas that are a little bit off the beaten path.
Right.
Charming neighborhoods that maybe are tucked away from the main tourist attractions.
I see.
Buses often provide access to these like hidden gems. You'll get a glimpse of that authentic Athenian life.
That makes sense. Okay, so even if buses aren't my primary mode of transport, they're a good tool to have in my back pocket. Speaking of venturing out, what about those trams?
The trams.
I've heard so much about these charming trams. I'm picturing myself, gliding along the Athenian Riviera, sunglasses on, soaking up the sun. Is that the reality?
You got it. So the tram line, it runs right along the coast.
Amazing.
Connecting Syntagma Square to these picturesque beaches, vibrant nightlife spots.
Wow.
It's the perfect way to just kind of leisurely explore.
Yeah.
And there are stops along the way. You can hop off, discover hidden cafes, local markets,
Okay.
or just enjoy the sea breeze.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
All right, I am adding a tram ride to my Athenian to-do list.
Good.
It sounds way more relaxing than being crammed on a bus. But wait a minute. Our source mentioned something about the tram tickets?
Yes.
They're not just for a single ride, right?
You're right. So one tram ticket gives you 90 minutes of unlimited travel.
Okay.
With stopovers. So you could hop off for a swim at the beach, grab some food at a seaside taverna, hop back on, and continue your journey. All included in that one ticket.
Wow, that's brilliant. I love that.
Yeah.
Maximizing my travel experiences, and I don't have to keep buying tickets.
Exactly.
Okay, it sounds like the tram is the perfect way to see the Athenian coastline at a nice, relaxed pace.
It really is. And actually, if we kind of connect this back to your question about buses, you could even use the tram to get to some great starting points for like bus explorations.
Oh, okay.
So, for example, take the tram to Flisvos Marina,
Okay.
bustling hub, stunning sea views, and then hop on a bus from there to explore the nearby, less touristy neighborhoods.
Okay, that's a great tip. I'm already envisioning this whole Athenian adventure, seamlessly blending tram rides and bus explorations.
Yeah, yeah.
Sounds like the perfect combo for discovering,
Both
the iconic spots and the hidden gems.
exactly. And that's just scratching the surface. There are so many possibilities once you start combining those different modes of transport and, thinking outside those typical tourist routes.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's go back to the airport for a second. We've
Hmm.
talked about the metro, how it's a smooth ride into the city center.
Yeah.
But what about other options from Athens International?
Well, our source mentions a few buses and something called the Suburban Railway.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm not sure what that is. Sounds a bit like a commuter train, not really for tourists.
You're right. It's mainly used to connect Athens with the towns and suburbs surrounding it.
Okay.
But it does have a station at the airport, and it could be a useful option if you're staying further out from the center. It's
Hmm.
also connected to the metro network.
Right.
Gives you more flexibility for getting around.
Makes sense. Not my first choice getting into the city center,
Right.
but good to know about for, venturing further.
Yeah.
But let's get back to those buses from the airport.
Okay.
Are we talking like regular city buses, or is there something special for airport transfers?
There are special express bus routes
Okay.
just for airport transfers. They're labeled with an X and then a number, like X93, X95, X96, and X97.
Okay.
And each route serves a different area of the city.
I see.
So you can pick the one that drops you off closest to your accommodation.
Handy. Sounds like they've really thought about streamlining that arrival process.
Yeah.
But wouldn't a taxi still be faster, even if it's, pricier?
Not necessarily. These express buses, they're designed to avoid all the city traffic.
Okay.
And they run really frequently, 24 hours a day.
Yep.
Plus, they drop you off at key spots, like in Syntagma Square.
Okay.
Makes it easy to connect with other transport or just walk to your hotel. Our source even mentions the bus stops have clear signs and readily available ticket info.
So you're not lost or confused.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm starting to see the appeal. No haggling with taxi drivers,
Right.
worrying about getting ripped off.
Yeah.
And I like having the option to choose the route depending on where I'm staying.
Yeah.
But speaking of tickets, do I need a special ticket for the airport buses, or will my regular transport ticket work?
It's a good question. You do need a separate ticket for the express airport buses.
Okay.
You can buy them at kiosks at the airport or even on board.
Okay.
And here's a little tip.
Okay.
If you're planning to use the metro after your bus ride,
Right.
you'll need a separate ticket for that journey too.
Okay.
Yeah.
2 separate tickets, one for the airport bus,
Yes.
one for the metro.
Got it.
Now, our source also mentioned something called the Athena Card. Is this like a magical transport pass unlocks all the secrets of Athens?
It's pretty close. So the Athena card, it's a rechargeable card you can use for all the public transport in Athens.
Okay.
It's your personal key to navigating the city. Super convenient, especially if you're planning to use public transport a lot during your stay.
Okay. Sounds like a must-have for any visitor, especially someone like me who wants to, ditch the taxis, really embrace that local transport experience. But I'm assuming it costs extra.
There's a small fee for the card itself,
Okay.
but the benefit comes when you load it with travel credit or buy these special passes. And this is where our source highlights the 3-day tourist ticket.
Okay. Tell me more about this 3-day wonder ticket.
Okay, so first of all, it gives you unlimited access to all public transport in Athens for 72 hours.
Wow. Okay.
That includes the metro, buses, trams, even those express airport buses, to and from the airport.
Wow.
You hop on and off as much as you like, explore every corner of the city, no worries about buying individual tickets.
That's incredible. No more fumbling for change, trying to figure out ticket machines in a foreign language. You just swipe and go. But I'm guessing it comes with a pretty high price tag, right?
Actually, that's the best part. So when you compare the cost to buying individual tickets for each journey,
Right.
especially if you're doing a lot of sightseeing, you save a lot.
Makes sense.
It's really a no-brainer for anyone who wants to get the most out of their transport budget and just explore freely.
Okay, you've convinced me. The 3-day tourist ticket sounds like the ultimate Athens adventure pass.
Yeah.
No more transport stress, just pure exploration. But what if I'm planning a longer trip,
Okay.
say like a week or 2 weeks? Are there options for those of us who really want to, immerse ourselves?
For sure. So the 3-day ticket is great for shorter stays, but our source also mentions longer-term tickets for those extended adventures.
Okay.
You can choose from 5-day, weekly, even monthly passes. It's about finding what fits your style and budget.
That's awesome. So they've thought of everything. I'm really impressed. The Athenian transport system sounds so user-friendly
Yeah.
and comprehensive. Makes me rethink my usual travel habits of, relying on taxis or rental cars.
That's the beauty of public transport. It opens up a whole new way to experience a city.
Yeah.
You're not just observing from the back of a taxi.
Right.
You're immersed in the flow of local life. You're interacting with people, discovering hidden gems you'd probably miss otherwise.
Couldn't agree more. Knowing Athens has this, well-organized and affordable public transport system makes me even more excited to explore. It's like a whole new world of adventure has opened up.
Exactly.
I gotta say, I'm already feeling a lot more confident about navigating Athens. This deep dive has been, like, eye-opening.
It is, isn't it?
It's not just about getting around, it's like experiencing the city in a totally new way.
Exactly. Public transport can be like that gateway to authentic experiences, unexpected discoveries.
Yeah.
Think about it. You're sharing the journey with locals, observing their daily routines, soaking up that unique city rhythm.
It really is like stepping into a real-life travel documentary,
Yeah.
not just ticking off attractions from a guidebook. And the fact
Yeah.
that Athens has this efficient, affordable system just makes it even more appealing. I can picture myself like sipping coffee at a charming cafe near Syntagma Square, arriving there on the metro like a pro.
I love that image.
No more frantic taxi searches
Right.
or getting lost in a maze of streets. I don't know.
And that confidence is key. When you feel comfortable getting around, you're more likely to venture off the beaten path, explore different neighborhoods, and really immerse yourself in the city's character.
It's true. It's like having that secret map to unlock the hidden gems and the local experiences. Speaking of hidden gems, what would you say is the most surprising thing you've learned about Athens public transport from this?
I think for me, it's that seamless blend of history and modernity.
Oh.
You've got these ancient ruins right next to sleek, modern metro stations, trams gliding past landmarks that are centuries old.
Yeah.
It's this fascinating mix of old and new that I think really makes Athens special.
It's like a living museum where history isn't just, confined to exhibit halls. It's just woven into daily life.
Yeah.
And knowing I can access all that with this easy, affordable public transport system, I'm ready to book my flight right now.
And remember, this deep dive is just the beginning. We encourage everyone to check out the full source material.
Yeah.
Links in the show notes. Discover even more tips and insights to help plan your Athenian adventure.
So before we wrap up, let's leave our listeners with a final thought. Now that you've had this little glimpse into Athens public transport, what's the first thing you'd do when you get there? Would you go straight to the Acropolis, hop on that tram along the coast, or venture into a less touristy neighborhood? The choice is yours.
And whichever path you choose, embrace the journey. Get lost in the rhythm of the city, savor the unexpected moments, and discover the true heart of Athens.
That's a perfect way to end it. Happy travels, everyone.